Oh my God. What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting episode of Ask Why. I'm really excited about today's episode because I have an extra special guest that will be joining me. I have never done anything like this before, and I'll probably do a video as to how this interview came to be. But in a couple of minutes, I will be joined by the Afro-Latina sensation, Amara La Negra. A lot of you guys know her through Love and Hip Hop, but she is grown and blown to be far beyond that Love and Hip Hop status. We've fallen in love with her over the years, fallen in love with her music, her entrepreneurship, her movies, her other TV shows. And now she's about to embark on one of the greatest journeys of her life. And I can't wait to talk to her and dish with her all about it. Stay tuned.
All right.
Oh my God, it's Amara La Negra. Oh my God, it's happening.
Hi.
Hi, Amara. My name is Yinka. And first of all, I just want to say, I fell out when I saw your post on Instagram. And I had to double check. I was like, somebody's playing with me. Somebody's trying to play with me today, but it's really you. It is the one and only Amara La Negra. And I just want to say thank you so much for honoring me with your time. I know you got a lot going on. You're about to be a mommy of two. How's that journey so far?
I was just telling them right now to stop kicking me. But it's definitely something new to me. It's a new experience. I'm learning, I'm enjoying it. I'm just, I have a lot of mixed emotions right now.
Mm-hmm. No, and I can imagine because, I mean, first of all, you were so brave during the season of Love and Hip Hop, and you shared your story of when, initially you were pregnant, and then you had the miscarriage. And two things kind of like struck out to me when you talked about it. You said, number one, it's like it clicking that you were pregnant because you didn't even realize you were. You thought it was the fibroids, which I can connect with because I'm also somebody that has fibroids. I've never tried to get pregnant. I just got married. So when you said
Congrats.
that, thank you. So when you shared that, I was like, this was always something that was like a concern in the back of my mind. But being Nigerian with my culture, we don't really talk about it. It's like, as an African woman, it's your job to have babies, and it shouldn't be anything where you're ever dealing with a miscarriage. So I'm curious, like, what made you want to share that and on such a national platform, knowing that everybody and their mama is gonna have an opinion about it?
Well, regardless of what I do, everybody has an opinion. So it gets to a point where you're like, let them say whatever they want. What I actually didn't get an opportunity to say while I was filming, because everything happened so quickly, is that I was actually pregnant with triplets, and that miscarriage was one of the same sac. So I ended up just being able to, keep these two. And it happened naturally, no in vitro, no nothing like that. I come from a very fertile family. I think I didn't, have the opportunity of getting married and doing it the way that I really wanted to do it. But I did have, to a certain extent, I wasn't planning on getting pregnant. I wasn't looking to get pregnant. It just happened how it happens. But I think that there was also in the back of my mind a certain concern for 2 seconds that once I hit 30, I was like, okay, well, I'm already 30. I've worked. I feel that I am established somewhat. There's no such a thing as a perfect time. There'll never be the right time. And as a woman that's very ambitious and I'm a go-getter, I was concerned that, me working so much would get me to a space where I wasn't going to be able to have children later on in life because I'm so busy and concerned about work and money and growth. So I feel like everything happens in God's time. And, this is a blessing.
Oh, it sure is. Like, so in my culture, we say everything not double, which is like everything is twice, like
okay.
double the blessing. And, speaking of that, now that you're going to be a girl mom and you have such an amazing and beautiful, close relationship with your mother, like, honestly, that's really what I tune in for. There's a lot of other mess, but it's beautiful to kind of see that dynamic and how you both lean on each other. Now that you're going to be a mom, oh no. Oh, there you are.
I'm back.
So now that you're going to be a mom and you're going to have girls yourself, is there any piece of advice that either your mom told you or you've experienced through life that you want to be able to pass on to your daughters?
Well, I did hear something recently that hit home for me. They told me I actually heard it I did an interview with a twin, and she told me something that I hadn't even thought about, and it really put things in perspective for me. She said, whatever you do not compare one to the other. Even though that they're going to look the same and they're going to, you'll probably dress them the same and everything, they'll eventually grow into having their own identities. And it can be traumatizing for them when you're like, oh, you should be more, you're like your sister. Why don't you do this like your sister? It can create some type of resentment. I had never even thought about that because I'm an only child. I never, had to deal with any of those things. So just hearing it definitely made me feel like, okay, well, that's something I'll take in consideration when I have my twins. And I definitely just want to be my baby's, best friend. I want to be there for them the same way and create that same bond that my mom and I have.
No, and that's really beautiful. And when you talk about comparison, that's really important because I grew up from a family of 6 girls, just girls. Like, yeah, girl.
I can imagine there was a lot of comparisons in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of comparison. And I was like the middle child. So I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family. I beat to my own drum. So I think it is beautiful that you're already thinking about that, because the world is already going to try to impose on them on how they should see themselves, that they don't really need to get that from home. So that's a beautiful thing. And then just taking a quick step back, what made you want to give your viewers, your fans, this opportunity to be able to slide into your DMs and get the opportunity to interview you?
Well, I feel that at the place in life where I am right now, usually the interviews that we do are, big platforms. But I always feel like there's the ones that may not be as big that still support me, that are still there for me, that still put up my, any news, anything that is happening in my life, in my career, they support me without me having to say anything. And I wanted to be able to show some love and support to them as well. Whether it's a blog or a podcast or whatever, I know what it feels like to start and you're happy and you're excited and you just want to, you want people to hear you and you want people to see you. And I know that me being able to be on these platforms can at least allow a little bit of that influence. And I want to be able to share some of this growth and some of this success with the people that support me. So I just wanted to do it. And I also wanted to obviously take the opportunity to make sure that all the viewers know about my podcast, Exactly Amara, that airs every Thursday on iHeartRadio, and my new TV show, Don't Cancel Me, on Fuse, December 1st at 11 p.m. Those are things I'm really excited about. Love and Hip Hop is already, it already ended this season, but I'm always working, and I just wanted to be able to share, some of this positivity with you.
And I'm actually glad that you brought that up. So I got to see an episode of Amazing Amara. That's your podcast. And
Exactly Amara.
Exactly. So sorry. Exactly Amara. So sorry. That's your podcast. And on the first episode, I mean, you guys talked about something that you're always really passionate about, right? Which is being Afro-Latina, talking about representation, talking about visibility, inclusion. And when it comes to that, well, when it comes to anything, you're typically the loudest voice in the room, like championing that cause. But I do want to ask you though, does it ever get exhausting that although you're the loudest voice in the room, do you feel like you have to be the only voice? Like, do you feel like, okay, now Amara is the face of Afro-Latina and everything that she says on Afro-Latina is it?
No, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I wish that there would be more like me, because I feel like there's people that do it, but do it very discreetly, do it very like low key. And I wish that there would be more people that were like in your face, like I am, that I use all my platforms, any opportunity I have, I'm like in your face. This is what it is, whether you like it or not. There's some people that do it very subtly and it's very, so it makes it a little bit harder. I wish that there would be more. And maybe, what I'm doing is inspiring somebody else who want to do it. And if so, then I feel like I've done my job,
Yeah, no, and I feel like especially in this climate, where race and phenotype presentation is such a big deal, such a big conversation, I don't think you could ever really hear about it enough, because people have to live it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just wake up and decide that, like, okay, I'm just not going to look the way that I look, and
right.
Your life. So that's really important. And then I want to get your thought about something that just happened today.
Okay, go for it.
This is going to be the last one. Okay.
Okay.
So with Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm not sure if you know about him, the guy in Kenosha that over last year when we had the Black Lives Matter riot, he killed 2 people and wounded somebody else. So the verdict came out today. The judge found him to be not guilty on all counts, which included murder charges, gun charges, which he had illegal.
Please do not ask me what do I think about it. Please do not ask me, because if you think that I think that was okay, hell no. Like, if it would have been a Black man who had done that, you know that they would have given him that life sentence. So there we go again with that white privilege, you know, and the fake dry ass tears. You know, there we go with Mrs. Karen over there back there crying for her child like he's a baby. But then again, he was having lots of fun out there with that big ass, like, look. I am with child with 2 girls. Who knows what the future holds, and maybe eventually in life I will have sons as well. And I will have to teach them what it is to live in this world while being Black. And it sucks the more I see it that there's so much white privilege. You can literally kill. You can murder people and get away with it because of the color of your skin. And those are even more reasons why I am so passionate. I'm so strongly, like, I feel the need to continue to use my voice, my platform, to talk about colorism and racism and classism and all the issues that I feel that affect my community and will affect my family and my children as well. So that was some bullshit. I'm sorry.
Well, I agree with you. And I do want to respect your time because you're a busy woman, not only with, you know, your shows, entrepreneurship, the real estate you're doing, you're just doing it all. So thank you so much for gracing me with your time. I wish you nothing but love and blessings. Your children are going to be more than blessed to have you. And tell your mom that I'm going to come to Miami and get some empanadas. Okay?
Everybody wants my mom's empanadas. They're coming soon, I promise.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.